packages available too. TC's fees and normal lending criteria apply. Red Hot Marine, your local Yamaha Marine, Haynes Hunter and Extreme Boats dealer. Visit redhotmarine.co.nz.
Is your roof showing its age? Are you worried that the re-roofing is going to cost you thousands? Thousands you simply don't have? Extend the life of your existing roof at a fraction of the price of a new roof with Paul Milne Roofing. They pride themselves on giving their customers the right roofing solutions tailored to meet your needs. No matter what your roofing problems are, from leaks, painting to pre-sale or pre-purchase roof inspections, Paul Milne can help. Call Paul Milne Roofing on 021 205 1586.
The Mike Hosking Breakfast. Back Monday morning from 6 till 9 a.m. This is News Talk ZB News.
It's 10 o'clock. Good evening, I'm Joe Gilfillan. There have been more than 1,000 lightning strikes across New Zealand in the space of 2 hours earlier today. And in the South Island, emergency services are braced for flooding in some areas, with several civil defence agencies now on standby. Met Service expects Canterbury will bear the full brunt of the weather system. The state forecast has issued a rare red warning for heavy rain for Canterbury south of Amberley, in force until Monday. Christchurch residents have been warned the deluge is expected to reach dangerous levels and has the potential to cause heavy flooding and slips that may make some roads impassable. Rivers of concern include the Ashley, Selwyn, Ashburton, Opihi and Orari, and the tributaries that flow into them. Greenpeace says ECAN, the Environment Authority in Canterbury, needs to explain why private bore owners are having to deal with nitrates in their drinking water. Greenpeace is holding free tests at drop-in sessions in Dunsandel and Woodend this weekend. Campaigner Steve Abel says the water contamination's from too much synthetic nitrogen fertiliser and high-intensity dairying.
It's very concerning that Environment Canterbury have issued the consents which allowed the pollution in the first place, and yet they put the onus on the individual bore owners for ensuring the safety of their water.
A boatie has gone missing from Waiheke Island. Erno Bedo was last seen last Sunday at Oniroa Bay and reported missing yesterday. The 73-year-old's described as Caucasian, of average build, and was last known to be wearing a black and green two-tone jacket with a shirt underneath. He lives on a boat called Holly, which is still moored in Oniroa Bay. However, its bright orange or yellow tender, also called Holly, is missing. An extensive shoreline search has turned up no clues. The Police National Dive Squad is scheduled to undertake a search in Oniroa Bay tomorrow, weather permitting. Anyone with relevant information is asked to contact Waiheke Island Police. New Zealand and Australia's vaccine rollout is facing a mutual challenge. Australia's federal government's facing criticism from state governments for the speed of its immunisation program. A health system commentator says our vaccine rate's at 3.9%, while Australia's is just 1.9%. But Ian Powell says both rates are low on a global scale.
A lot of that's to do with where we're located and the difficulty in competing with larger European and North American countries. The supply is very much in the hands of pharmaceutical companies.
Republicans in the United States Senate have blocked the creation of a panel to investigate the January 6th attack on the Capitol. The Senate vote was 54 for and 35 against, 6 votes short of the 60 needed to push it through. The panel would have been a bipartisan effort with 5 senators from each party. 11 senators, 9 Republicans and 2 Democrats missed the vote. Orphans, conscripted soldiers and students, some appearing to be children, are volunteering to work manual labour in North Korea, including in coal mines, farms and large construction projects. North Korea's state news agency KCNA says hundreds of graduates of orphan schools volunteered to work in difficult fields. The news agency says they volunteered out of their will to glorify their youth in the struggle for the prosperity of the country, adding that they finished their school courses under the warm care of the Mother Party. News Talk ZB Sport. The Chiefs have just begun their Super Rugby Trans-Tasman game with the Reds in Queensland, still 0-0. Earlier, the Blues beat the Brumbies 38-10 at Eden Park, and the Crusaders have beaten the Waratahs 54-28 in Wollongong. The Indian Premier League has announced its resumption in the United Arab Emirates in September and October. The tournament was initially disbanded because of rising COVID-19 case numbers in India. A third successive Diamond League victory for Tom Walsh. The former men's shot put world champions won gold in Doha, throwing 21.63 metres to win by 74 centimetres. Little room for error for pole vaulter Eliza McCartney. The Rio 2016 bronze medalist has 3 meets next month in Auckland. They're her last chance to qualify for the Tokyo Games. McCartney's back vaulting after battling a troublesome Achilles injury since 2019. McCartney says it's been a challenging few years, but she's going to give it her best shot.
Although it has been hard, it's, I've still got an opportunity to go, and I've really been working on my mindset, I suppose, and being at peace or happy with whatever the outcome is.
Eliza McCartney's received her first COVID-19 vaccination in the hope that she'll qualify for the Games. 2 New Zealand football clubs have inked strategic partnerships with the Scottish professional club St Mirren. Birkenhead United on Auckland's North Shore and Nelson Suburbs will exchange players and coaches as well as share resources and expertise. St Mirren finished 7th in the recently completed Scottish Premiership season. Birkenhead United chairman David Williams is excited by the partnership, given his team is an amateur club.
There's potentially a pathway for any player who is capable and motivated to take their football career to the next step.
In the New Zealand NBL, the Nuggets have beaten the Huskies 73-71. The Sharks beat the Airs 114-72, and the Giants beat the Hawks 112-109. That's News Talk ZB News and Sport to 10:06. Bruce Russell is next with more in my day, and of course, those lotto numbers. News Talk ZB Weather Watch 24/7. Met Service has now released a new severe heavy rainfall warning for Canterbury and for heavy rain in parts of central and southern New Zealand and severe gales for parts of the South Island. Met Service is also warning of several centimetres of snow on the Arthurs and Lindis passes overnight tonight. Northland to Taranaki, Bay of Plenty and Taupo. Periods of rain or showers tonight, some heavy with squally thunderstorms and hail possible. Fine spells and scattered showers tomorrow, some heavy. Thunderstorms possible in Northland and Auckland tomorrow night. Everywhere else in the North Island, rain at times tonight, but mainly fine tomorrow. Marlborough, Nelson and Buller, rain with heavy falls and thunderstorms possible tonight. Rain clearing for a while from Marlborough and Buller tomorrow with scattered showers in Nelson. In Canterbury, a significant heavy rain event, as you heard this weekend. Persistent rain with heavy falls, strong easterlies developing tonight. Westland and Fiordland, occasional rain but dry in the fjords, southeasterly gales. Otago, Southland, periods of rain with low cloud. The Chatham Islands, occasional rain with low cloud. I'm Joe Gilfillan. That's News Talk ZB News, Sport and Weather to 10:07.
So lotto numbers are these: number 2, number 35, 38, 10, 16 and 31. The bonus ball 40, that's 40, and the Powerball is number 5, and the strike numbers are 2, 35, 38 and 10. Television. Newsreaders over the years, how many can you identify? How many can you name? Take a listen.
The hearing of charges against 5 directors and 6 crew of Radio Hauraki ended at Auckland today. The magistrate will give his decision on Monday.
Driving conditions in the Manawatu, Wairarapa and Southern Hawke's Bay have been hazardous. Near Woodville, 4 caravans have been blown over, and vehicles towing caravans have been stopped from using the state highways between Woodville and Whakiatua and Woodville and Dannyburg. In America, 4 students were shot to death today at Kent State University in Ohio when National Guardsmen opened fire on demonstrators.
Hello. Well, the New Zealand map shows that most of New Zealand had fine weather today. A few scattered showers in our viewing region, but hardly enough to lay the dust or rejuvenate the pasture lands. At 3 o'clock this afternoon in the 4 main centres, the temperatures were...
Coalition for Open Government is preparing a major counter-attack against the proposed $600 million aluminium smelter in the South Island. Most of the criticism will centre on the price the smelter consortium will pay for electricity.
The great exodus is on on from the two major festivals at Sweetwaters near Ngaruawahia and Nambassa near Waihi. Upwards of 60,000 people attended both events, and while Sweetwaters encountered few problems, Nambassa's headaches are far from over, as Owen Poland reports.
Good evening. Network News for Wednesday, the 18th of November. A top Wellington surgeon is claiming the right to refuse to treat people suspected of having AIDS. William Eisbister, Professor of Surgery at Wellington Hospital, was reacting today to new guidelines on the ethics of treating AIDS patients.
The Australian Prime Minister, Mr Hawke, arrives in New Zealand tomorrow on his first official visit to this country. He's to have 4 days of talks with Mr Longy and other government ministers.
Remembering the good old days. It's In My Day with Bruce Russell on News Talk ZB.
Entertainment to midnight, 61 years of television, starting with the transmission out of AKTV2, 1st of June 1960. How did you get on with those newsreaders there? There was one who was not reading the news, there was one who was weathercasting. They were, from the 60s, beginning in 1966, Bill Toft, now the late Bill Toft. Then into Dougal Stevenson in 67, then Philip Sherry. Into the later years with Jenny Goodwin doing the weather, Jenny Goodwin, and in 1980 the newsreader there was Tom Bradley, followed by Angela Dordney in 1981, and then in 1987 clips of Richard Long and Judy Bailey. Those were they. Notice the change in the style of speaking. Bill Toft and Dougal Stevenson, very British. Caravan, Dougal talking about caravans tipping over. But notice the item itself is about the weather, it's about caravans tipping over. We've got the same this weekend, haven't we? And then from the time of Tom Bradley, you notice a softening in the very Britishness, which was extended into Angela Dordney and then into Richard and Judy. And while they still sounded toffier than most of us, by the time certainly Richard Long and Tom Bradley got there, that very Britishness was starting to disappear from the airwaves. So there you go, it is 11 minutes past 10, it's In My Day at News Talks every television, church and Kiwi slang. And I don't need to give you any more examples of Kiwi slang. I'm not talking about Kiwi swearing, I'm talking about Kiwi slang. And some of it has defined us as a nation, I think. Don't you think? Get in behind. Good Fred Daggism. How are you, Ronnie?
Oh, I'm good, very
good. Lovely, yes, nice.
Yep, lovely, and thanks for your show again.
It's quite all right.
Yeah, for me, I'm just going to say, Paul Holmes for me, definitely, as well as, good old Leighton Smith, the other side of it, broadcasting, but yeah, as for some of the shows, watching TV, I think you've got to put a plug in for Sesame Street as a child.
Oh gosh, it was going forever, wasn't it?
I think we all learned a little bit from that, in our old days.
Yeah, well, I learned nothing from it.
No, you didn't probably watch it, did you?
Not a heck of a lot.
No,
but the stuff
more out into mischief.
But the stuff the stuff that was on Sesame Street was stuff I knew.
Oh, okay. All right. Also, I thought of, I definitely thought of The Flying Nun. Then I thought of Days of Our Lives.
Oh, yes.
And The Young and the Restless.
Like Sand Through the Hourglass.
Yep. And then, of course, for around my dad and that, it was Hogan's Heroes and George and Mildred.
They were very good. I loved George and Mildred.
Yeah, and like the Minder.
Minder, absolutely. Minder.
And Scotland Yard and Nancy Drew and them.
Nancy Drew?
Yeah. The stories of Nancy Drew and
No, I just thought when you put them in with Scotland Yard and things like that.
I know, mystery.
Kids mysteries. Nancy Drew, yes. Exactly.
Also, and then I thought of one of the I definitely liked Selwyn with It's in the Bag and Bruce Forsyth with his show.
Oh, do you know what the best part of that show was?
Yeah, we're trying to remember all the things that were going on the conveyor belt.
And the audience could do it with the competitor.
Oh, okay.
Well, you remember the stuff went on the conveyor belt, and when they were trying to remember all the items, you at home could do it as well.
Yeah.
And sit there in my chair, and I'd say, remember the bag, the black bag.
That's right. And also the telephone. I mean, I actually performed on the telephone a couple of times and on the phone.
Oh, what did you do?
I just was on the phone answering and you know, those type of things.
Whereabouts was that? Where?
What do you mean where?
Well,
in
what
Auckland.
city? Oh, in Auckland, because they were held in various cities.
Yeah, they did. I'm sorry. I should have said that. Yeah, no, Auckland, and because I was in a drama class, so we performed too and met a few of the actors and actresses, like, you know, we did. And, yeah, it was interesting, but it definitely was a together thing for all of the country, you know, and I loved that part. So I just thought I'd put my 50 cents in and let you all know what I think. But also, you know, Philip Leishman, I thought he's all right.
That was Dog Show, wasn't it? Or something like that.
Well, no, that's Mark, isn't it? Mark
Leishman. Sorry, I'm getting the brothers mixed up, and I shouldn't.
Yeah, I know.
Because I know Mark Leishman, and I've worked with him. No, Philip on the Sport you're talking about. But what were the shows he hosted?
I don't know if he I think he was doing some shows, but I can't remember exactly what. But I know he was a bit more known as, you know, on the team, on the more the sports side of it.
Yes, he was on the sports side.
But he did do a few TV shows.
He did.
Yeah, I can't recall what ones they were, to be honest. But yeah.
When I moved out of a flat I was in, and it was Mark Leishman was coming to live there, and he came and I said, I'm sorry, because I had tried to move undo the washing machine myself, and I'd taken the taps off and flooded the laundry. I always felt very, very guilty that I left him to that. Many, many years later, when I met up with him again at Radio I, when he was hosting there and I was doing traffic, he didn't remember a thing about it. But in my mind, I still felt very guilty. It's funny how you feel like that years later and nobody else remembers.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure. But I would have thought it was stood out.
No, but not. Thank you, Bronnie. Very good. It is News Talk TV, and it's 0800 80 1080. 16 minutes past 10. So into the... I mean, what can you say? And his autobiography, if you ever see it, is worth a read. £7, our cinema audience. What should you do, customers? The money or the bag? They're saying take the bag in the cinema. What advice? What are you going to do? Take the bag? The bag. I'll make it $42.15. The money or the bag at £42.15.
Do it with it tonight.
You could do it a lot with it. What will it be at $42.15?
The bag.
The bag at £42.15. They're going. They don't want the money in the hut tonight. Do you want me to tell him what it is? Have a look at the Lawn Roll semi-automatic spin-dry washing machine, because that's yours. That's yours. The old-style showman, that was Selwyn. Oh, my goodness me. He was just fabulous. That was actually from a radio show. It's in the bag, an episode from 1959. 18 past 10, the guy had style, and I've already played a clip from his television show Beauty and the Beast. He also did It's in the Bag, by the way, on television as well, and gave it up and stood aside eventually for a new host, John Hawkesby.
Radio, music, podcasts, all in one app, and all free. Download the iHeartRadio app today.
For nearly 20 years, Lexus have pioneered the development of hybrid electric vehicles. And now Lexus of Wellington are excited to announce our first all-electric model, the 2022 Lexus UX 300e. The UX 300e has been created to evoke all the original joys of driving with a clear vision of the future. The UX300E uses first-in-class EV technology and can be powered in approximately 60 minutes and travel up to 400 k's between charges. The advanced electric motor delivers 150 kilowatts and 300 newton meters of almost instantaneous torque. And the revolution continues with a brave new approach to electric car mobility with a sporty yet sophisticated silhouette, low centre of gravity and reinforced chassis, all providing its driver with a heightened agility and precise steering. Now is the time to electrify your drive with the Lexus UX300E. Express your interest and be the first to own the all-new full-electric UX300E from Lexus of Wellington.
Whether your business has one car or a fleet of utes and trucks, Speedy Signs can help you stand out. They can wrap cars, buses, trains, vans, utes and trucks. And they do. They've even wrapped a few boats and caravans. With graphics, that is, not gift wrap. If you want mobile recognition wherever you go, get wrapped with Speedy Signs. Let them help you grow your business faster. Give them a call today on 0800 SPEEDY or visit speedysigns.co.nz.
You got a nickel, Wellington? Then call your mother. You're gonna be home late. The Jersey Boys are in town and everyone's going wild for us. Jersey Boys, the smash hit musical about Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, is now playing to rave reviews at the Wellington Opera House. It must close Queen's Birthday Monday. No extensions possible. Great seats are still available from $51.50. Hurry to Ticketmaster now before they're gone. My hand to God, see this show now or regret it. Because it's bye-bye baby after the long weekend. Capiche?
Start the day informed. The Mike Hosking Breakfast.
Our political editor, Barry Soper, obtained exclusive audio from a video made for teacher training, asking teachers to reflect on their white privilege.
Take a minute to list your own privilege. So this might include things like white privilege, also things like male privilege.
David Seymour's with us.
Imagine for a moment you're a kid who's unloved, perhaps abused, not being fed. You go along to school and you're told that you are privileged, perhaps even a white supremacist. Why? Because of your colour. Well, this latest resource, Unteach Racism, actually says that colour blindness is wrong. So they're actively telling people not to treat kids the same, and I just wish they'd have the same enthusiasm for literacy, numeracy and science, things that might help kids.
Back Monday from 6 a.m. The Mike Hosking Breakfast with Bailey's Real Estate on News Talk ZB. You lived it, we remember it. It's In My Day on News Talk ZB.
But, that woman brought back memories. People hate Mondays. But I'm sure Minda and Dallas were on that night, and I enjoyed those programs. Larry Hagman from I Dream of Jeannie, a lovable chap. And to Dallas Mogul, forgot his name in that program, but he was a good actor. He was J.R. Ewing. MASH, Dad's Army, happening with Pete and Beverly Hillbillies, says go-go. The Shirley Country Calendar was the most watched show, along with McPhail and Gadsby, and also Billy T. James. That's from Jamie No. The News was always the most watched show back then. I think Dougal Stevenson did a voiceover on the Alberta song Come Dance All Around the World, great song, thanks Mark. Do you think so? No, I remember H.R. Pufnstuf with Richie Poo. Richie Poo died week before last. The actress Billy Hayes died. Richie Poo. Yes, she was after Freddie the Flute in H.R. Pufnstuf, you may remember. Top Town Games, Yes Minister, and To the Man of Born. Who did I like into The Man of Born? I didn't actually like the show. I've got to get, I might as well admit it. I never liked it. I liked Margot in The Good Life. I didn't like her much in The Man of Born. Okay, let's have a look at, let's have a listen to another call. Thank you, Gillian. Good evening.
Good evening, Bruce. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. You're keeping dry?
Keeping, yes.
Good. Okay, I've got a few programs for you that I remember.
Go on.
Okay, Petticoat Junction.
Yes.
Randall and Hopkirk Deceased.
Yes.
F Troop.
F Troop, yes.
The Andy Griffith Show.
Oh, gosh, yes. Oh, gosh, yes. Barney Fife.
Yep, and Here Come the Bride.
Yep, with David Soul.
Yep.
Bobby.
There's a Dreamboat.
Bobby Sherman. Oh, did you like David Soul or Bobby Sherman better?
Yes.
Which one did you like better?
Star Equal.
shouldn't forget those.
No, absolutely not. And there were lots of like too, but I haven't been listening for long. But I hope I haven't doubled up.
It doesn't matter if you have, because what somebody heard at 9 o'clock, somebody else hears at 10, and one of those people might not have heard one of those, so they don't know it's already been on. Because the audience changes, you know what I mean? People come and go.
Yes.
So don't worry if you repeat, because that's no worries to me.
And I tried looking up note for note on the internet, and I can't find it. Has anybody else finished it? I don't know. I mean, it was a musical quiz show, basically.
When would that have screened?
It would have been in the 60s, maybe early 70s.
And it doesn't appear anywhere.
Well, I can't find it, but that doesn't mean that, you know, I mean, I could be looking in the wrong places. But, yeah, it was a really good show, and they would play a couple of notes, and you had to try and guess what the song was.
There are a lot of, there are a lot of pop shows, but I don't see that one listed in the list.
Yeah.
It's been overlooked.
Yeah. I remember it very clearly because there was always a competition in my family to who would get it first.
I remember the name of the program, but I don't know that I saw it, and if I did see it, I've forgotten it. But do you remember who hosted it?
Merv, maybe?
Merv.
Merv Smith?
Oh.
Maybe?
Oh, he might have. He might have. I can't ask him, he's not here.
I know, but that's just off the top of my head, because I don't actually know.
No.
But that's just my best guess.
Yes, okay. Well, I'll tell you what, somebody will know.
Awesome.
That's what I don't know, but somebody will know.
Okay, well, I'll keep listening.
He did host a game show called Pop the Question in the 70s. Pop the Question.
Yep.
All right.
There was an early one. But anyway, thank you, Bruce. I'll keep listening.
Very good to hear from you. It is News Talk TV. Thank you. It's in my day. And the number is 0800 80 10 80. I'll take one more call at this stage, but keep ringing, please. Hi, Dave.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, I've got two or three. Bergerac.
Yes.
Brannigan.
Bergerac, was he the one in the Channel Islands?
I don't know, but I've got a lot of listed ones here, but I just can't find the list. But Bergerac and Brannigan was another one. There was a program called After Dark, which was a dancing program. It was on about 10:30 at night.
Was it? Yep.
After Dark. The Truman Bradley Half Hour.
The Truman Bradley Half Hour?
Yes, it was science.
Who was that?
It was an American program put on TV.
Yep.
Was it Believe It or Not was another one. I don't know whether he was on Believe It or Not. And getting back to the broadcasters, Teddy Grundy, Pete Sinclair and Teddy Grundy came into Arthur Barnett's where I used to play the piano in Christchurch.
Oh, Teddy Grundy.
In the 80s. I met Teddy Grundy and I met Pete Sinclair. Another interesting thing is that the musical scale of the book here called Inquire Within Upon Everything, and it says the musical scale was invented in 1022, which is 1,000 years ago next year, if it's true. That's very interesting, isn't it? 1,000 years ago, 1022. Yes, I think that's about all I've got to say, but...
it's very valuable stuff. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're there? You're there?
I am.
Still? Yes, of course, radio is 100 years old, either this year or next. 4XD Dunedin started, isn't it? And it was about 1919 to 1920 things developed.
No, well, we'll have to have a party.
Well, are they going to put things on next year? Nostalgia, bring something back from... They must have archives galore that haven't been played yet.
Oh, there are archives there where stuff has not been played ever since the first broadcast and been chucked in the archive, and there it rots. covered in dust.
Yes. All right, thank you very much.
Okay.
Anyway,
It will be an opportunity to bring some of that stuff forward, won't it? Now, thank you. It is News Talk ZB and it's in my day. I'll tell you what, I said somebody would know about Note for Note and somebody does. And it was Colin Lehman, best remembered for radio, but also did television, and he was the host of Note for Note. Colin had been an announcer on 4ZB. My earliest memories of Torchy, Diver Dan, Captain Pugwash and Dina Sharples. Country Calendar, especially the program they had about turkeys wearing gumboots. Really loved Note for Note with Denise Brady. Note for Note was hosted by Colin Lehman. So we've got two with Colin Lehman and one with Denise Brady. I wonder if Denise, who also had conducted Junior Magazine from Dunedin, I wonder if Denise was the co-host or a helper out for Colin Lehman on the program, because we've got 2 votes for Colin and 1 for Denise, and I wonder if she was on that with Colin Lehman on Note for Note. Do you remember the TV show done in Christchurch called The Krypton Factory? Hosted by Dee Stevenson and the Nissan Young Driver of the Year, also hosted by the same host in the late 80s, thanks Callum. That woman bring back memories. People hate Mondays, but I'm sure Minder and Dallas were on that night. Oh yes, I remember your text, thank you. I don't know about Dallas being on a Monday night, but never mind. That music quiz show, this is text, it was called Note for Note. It was hosted by Colin Lehman and Denise Brady. Good, they were together. That's what I suggested it might have been. It was filmed in Dunedin 1965 to 75, and that is our precious text to giving that information. Okay, that's good. It is 10:30. It's in my day.
You've seen it on our online ads. Now come in and find out what all the fuss is about. The MKM Originals Tasman and Extreme Hoodie, New Zealand's best-selling jersey, available from New Zealand Natural Clothing. Touch it, feel it, try it on. New Zealand Natural Clothing, Otaki.
Hunt Valley Hunting and Fishing's big brand winter sale is on now. Massive savings on brands like Stony Creek, Hunter's Element and Hunting and Fishing winter clothing. A huge range in store. Get in today to Purnie Street for Tony. Out there doing it.
Red Hot Marine is the region's exclusive dealer of Haynes Hunter and Extreme Boats, Yamaha outboards and wave runners. Whether you're new to boating or looking to upgrade, there's sure to be something that floats your boat at Red Hot Marine showroom situated on Port Road, Seaview. Yamaha Motor Finance and Yamaha Motor Insurance packages available too. TC's fees and normal lending criteria apply. Red Hot Marine, your local Yamaha Marine, Haynes Hunter and Extreme Boats dealer. Visit redhotmarine.co.nz.
When you're ready for the home of your dreams, you'll be ready for Design Builders Wellington. Every Design Builders home is a one-off, designed by architects, built by craftsmen, inspired by you. Anywhere in New Zealand, if you have the land, they can build. And to really explore the kind of home they can create for you, Design Builders have their own showroom at 2 Viewmont Drive, Harbourview, Lower Hutt. Open Sundays from 11 till 3, or book to view weekdays at designbuilders.co.nz.
News Talk ZB Wellington Community Notices with Tommy's Real Estate, major supporter of Wellington Free Ambulance.
Peter McIntyre, an official appointment, is an exhibition in the Freiburg Gallery of the National Army Museum, Wairau, showcasing the well-known World War II official artist Peter McIntyre. It also includes some of his themed crayon and pencil works completed in 1983, all part of your entry at the National Army Museum in Wairau, open from 9 to 4:30 daily.
Gonna find my baby, gonna hold her tight, gonna grab some afternoon delight. My motto's always been when it's right, why wait until the middle of a cold dark night, when everything's a little clearer in the light of
Hey, afternoon delight, Starland vocal band, 70s, News Talks ZB, and in my day. Hope you enjoyed an afternoon delight. What is afternoon delight? I think that it is a good snooze after a good lunch. Tales of the Unexpected, a Roald Dahl series, says Paul of Rottenrua. Old TV shows, Who Done It, hosted by John Pertwee. Young Lawyers, Lost in Space, Mr. Ed, Talking Horse, Thomas the Tank Engine. Remembering Havershot Musical Talent Show. Taken place in the 60s, great show, Bruce regards Lizzie. F Troop, that was a good one, wasn't it? And MASH, Nairi. Good. That'll do. Those are a few more of the texts. Good to have you along. Righto, we better go to you, John, and a good evening and welcome. Thank you for waiting.
That's all right. Yeah, got a few memories of Good Western.
Good Westerns? Oh, we haven't had many Westerns tonight. These are Western television shows.
So we've got The Virginian.
Yes.
Bonanza.
Yes.
The great movie ones that were made, because I was never a John Wayne fan.
Don't worry about the movie ones. I'm not going to movies. So we're doing
How the Western one was a good one.
We're doing TV.
Yeah.